Hi, gang. Trudy here. Treasurer's briefcase was exactly what I needed when I took over Janie's job as treasurer. I really think you should take a look at how easy it is to be the treasurer with Treasurer's briefcase. Let me show you some of the features that have made my job a breeze. After you've signed up for your free trial or selected one of the affordable plans, you can log into Treasurer's briefcase by entering your username and password in the fields provided. To log in, enter your username and password, then click the Login button. Once your account and password have been accepted, you'll see the Treasurer's Briefcase application menu. The three main apps I use are the Checking, Reports, and the Briefcase app. Above the three icons is the application menu, where you can also access these apps and some of the other features of Treasurer's Briefcase. When I click on the checkbook icon, I see a listing of the last few checks or deposits I've recorded. The checkbook app allows me to view, add, or edit transactions. I use the checking account menu to pick which checking account I'm currently working on. Treasurer's Briefcase allows me to manage multiple checking accounts, since lots of organizations like ours maintain more than one financial account. We use one account for paying vendors and the expenses for specific events and projects, and the other account for general expenses. The current balance of our checking account is shown at the top and is automatically updated every time I enter a new transaction. Smart Search is one of my favorite features. It allows me to enter almost anything to find a transaction. I can enter dates, check amounts, or even partial names of those we've paid in the past. Treasurer's Briefcase finds my transactions fast. To add a new transaction, I click the Add button. I use this function to record checks, deposits, or other debits and credits. I like to do this as soon as I can after a check is written or a deposit is made, so that my president and executive board can log in and see the financial state of our group at any time. First, I select whether this is a check or a deposit. The system automatically keeps track of the last check I entered, so the check number has already been filled in for me. I record the date of the transaction and then the payee for the check. Every payee is saved using the Smart Contacts feature. Later, I can go to the Contacts app and add additional information for each person or company I've written a check to. This will really help our board and future treasurers. Now I enter the amount of the transaction and a reason for the expense. Before we save the transaction, we need to allocate the expense to one or more categories. Most of the time, you will probably allocate the expense to only one category. However, you may need to allocate the expense to multiple categories. You might do this, for example, when you write one check that covers the purchase of goods for multiple programs, fundraisers, or administrative functions. We call this process splitting the transaction. And Treasurer's Briefcase makes this easy by taking care of the math and making sure I can't make a mistake. Our accountant that audits our group really appreciates the fact that we can attach receipts to each transaction. After I've uploaded receipts to Treasurer's Briefcase, I click the Attach Documents link on the check and then select the documents to attach. I can even attach more than one document to each check. Now, whenever someone sees this check, they'll see all the receipts that help to explain the expense. Finally, I click Save, my balance is updated, and I'm ready to record the next transaction. At the end of each month, I reconcile our checking account. And of course, Treasurer's Briefcase makes this task simple too. After I get my bank statement, I enter the amount of the deposits the bank has recorded, the total amount of the checks and other debits, the ending bank balance, and the bank statement date. If I make a mistake when I enter the data from the bank statement, the system will show me that the numbers do not add up. Treasurer's Briefcase checks the numbers, and if things add up correctly, I can then click on the Continue button. When I've marked all of the deposits and withdrawals from my bank statement, Treasurer's Briefcase will let me know if the account has balanced and allow me to complete the process. When my deposits and withdrawals agree with the bank statement, Treasurer's Briefcase gives me a blue check mark, and I can now finish the reconciliation. A notification is displayed that lets me know a reconciliation report is available. It's also sent to my briefcase, so we have a record of my work. I'm done! I can't imagine doing all of that by hand. Treasurer's Briefcase provides all of the reports I need as the treasurer to accurately and precisely describe our organization's financial position at any point in time. One-click reports can quickly give me a report using last month's data. I just pick the report I want and click the report name. As soon as the report is ready, I receive a notification and I can print or send the report to my board. If I want a report for a different time period, I can click on the reports icon and select a different date range. There are preset ranges for the current or previous month or fiscal years. Select a time period, the report you want, and select PDF or Excel format. Now, just click the Generate Report button, and in seconds your report is ready. There are some reports we like to save, so Treasurer's Briefcase also includes a button to send these to our briefcase. We can then file them for easy access. There are a lot of reports I can produce with Treasurer's Briefcase, but the activity, treasurer's, and executive reports are probably the ones I use the most. I usually only produce monthly reports, but I can also run reports for different time periods. I really like the way Treasurer's Briefcase displays my reports, but if I really want to, I can even produce my reports in Excel format, and then modify the format for my organization. Treasurer's Briefcase always makes me look like a pro, and it only takes seconds. When Janie handed the job over to me, she brought me a cart full of paperwork. Boy, was I overwhelmed. I had to sift through boxes and files to find some important documents the president needed. That was the hardest part of my job. But now I use Treasurer's Briefcase to store all of our important documents in the cloud. That means things are safe and secure and ready for the next treasurer when my term is over. When I click on the briefcase, I'm asked to enter the PIN number I received when we signed up. This makes sure that only the members we want have access to these documents. The briefcase has 3 sections. On the left are my unfiled documents. I can either email documents to my briefcase or upload the documents by clicking the Upload button. I choose the file, select a folder, and Treasurer's Briefcase processes my files and then lets me know when they are ready to be filed. I can also add tags to a document or add a short description so we can quickly search for it later. Documents emailed to your briefcase will be shown in the Unfiled Documents section on the left. To file them, just drag and drop them to the current folder or one of the other folders on the right. I can add a new folder by entering a folder name in the field labeled Add Folder on the right. Click the plus button to open the new folder. Now I can add new documents to the folder. Last year, we were searching for documents and wondering where the money went. Now we're in the cloud, safe and secure. I'm sure glad I found Treasurer's Briefcase. Treasurer's Briefcase. Simple, fast, easy.